Hello class, today we are going to add rational numbers. We're going to add fractions and decimals with positive and negative numbers. So we need to review adding fractions first. So find a common denominator, rewrite equivalent fractions, and then find the sum. But just remember, today we're going to have positive and negative fractions. Okay, so when I see a problem, I like to estimate it first. So think of our benchmark. So 2/3 is closer to another whole, right? So we have 2 and then another whole. So this is going to be about 3. And then we have 1 out of 6, 1/6, which is just close to 2. So our answer should be about 5. So now let's go through it. So we have 2 and 2/3 plus 2 and 1/6. So we need common denominators. So I see a 3 and a 6. So I see 6 as our lowest common denominator. So 1/6 is going to stay the same. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. So now I have 4. Because now we add our numerators. 4 plus 1 is 5. We keep the denominator as 6. And then we add our whole numbers. 2 plus 2 is 4. So our answer is 4 and 5/6. And that is close to 5. Okay, so to add rational numbers, you use the same rules as you use for adding integers. Same signs, add and keep the sign. Different signs, find the difference and see which number has more, the biggest absolute value, more positives or more negatives. So let's go through this. So I see same signs. Okay, so negative plus a negative. So I know my answer is going to be negative because I'm going to add them. Same signs, we're going to add, and then we are going to keep the negative. Okay, so let's estimate. Negative 1/2, we can keep as negative 1/2 or negative 0.5, plus negative 3/2 is close to what number? So 1.5. But remember, it's negative. So we would add these, negative 1/2 plus negative 1.5, to be about negative 2. So now let's go through it. So we have negative 1/2 plus negative 3/2. We already have common denominators, so we just add our numerators. 1 plus 3 is 4. Keep the denominator, and we keep the negative. So can we simplify 4/2? Yes, 4 divided by 2 is just 2. And we keep the negative. Oh, that time our estimate worked out exactly. Great job. Okay, you try. Pause the video and see if you can do this problem. Okay, so I see signs are different. So we need to find the difference. So we need to subtract. Are there more positives or more negatives? Negative 1 plus 3/4 are more negative. So you know your answer is going to be negative. So now let's estimate. 3/8, well, 4/8 would be half. So we could say that's negative 1.5 plus 3/4 is close to another whole because 4/4 would be a whole. So we're going to just say that's one whole. So negative 1.5 plus 1 is about negative 1/2. Let's see it. So negative 1 3/8 plus 3/4. So remember, we're going to end up subtracting these. So I know my common denominator is going to be 8, between 4 and 8. So 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 2 is 6. So we're going to have a problem. We have 3/8 and we have 6. So sometimes it's easier if we change this number to an improper fraction. So remember, 8 times 1 plus 3. So that is going to be negative 11/8. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 3 is 11. We keep it at negative 11/8. So now I can subtract. 11 minus 6 is 5. Keep the denominator. And we said our answer is going to be negative because there's more negatives. Great job. Let's try decimals. When we add decimals, we remember we need to line up the decimal places and then find the sum. So I see 2 negatives, so I know I'm going to add them, and then you're going to have a negative answer, right? So add them and keep the negative sign. So let's estimate. So negative 75 cents is close to negative 1 plus negative, we'll just keep negative 1.5. So that will be about negative 2.5, 2.5. So now let's really add them. So 0 and 75 hundredths. We know we're going to add the 2. And the whole number goes under the 0 and 5/10. We don't have hundredths, so we'll just put a 0 there. We said we're adding them because the signs are the same. 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And we just bring our decimal down. So our answer, we talked about our answer being negative. They're both negatives. Negative 2 and 25 hundredths, which is close to negative 2.5. Great job. Okay, here's another one. Pause the video and see if you could do it. I see opposite signs, so I know I'm going to subtract. And I'm going to have a negative answer because negative 5 is bigger. There's more negatives. So negative 5 plus 4 is about negative 1. Your answer should be about negative 1. So I know I am going to subtract. Whole number 4 is the same as saying 4.00. I know I'm subtracting because signs are different. 5 minus 0 is 5. 3 minus 0 is 3. 5 minus 4 is 1. And we talked about the answer having more negatives. So it's negative 1 and 35 hundredths, which was close to our estimate. Okay, the last one. Okay, we have a profit or loss, we're not sure, from 2013 to 2017. Okay, so we need to add all of these numbers. Plus 1 and 7/10, plus 8/10, plus 3 and 2/10. So do you see negative 1 and 7/10 and positive 1.7? We can cross those out. So I have negative 4 and 75 hundredths plus 8/10 plus 3.2, 3 and 2/10. Okay, so I can group the addition together first. So 0 and 8/10 plus 3.2 is 4. So now I have negative 4 and 75 hundredths plus 4. Signs are different, so we subtract. So negative $0.75 million. So there is a loss. The company had a loss of $0.75 million, or you can say 750,000 because you can move your decimal 6 times to the right. They lost $750,000. I hope this helped you understand adding and subtracting rational numbers.